It has been described as a model of privatization in Kenya, an event that turned around the national carrier into a brand that competes with international airlines. Experts say, for business to succeed, government has to have the least engagement in commerce, if any.
Privatization is a process by which the government relinquishes some of the assets and state-owned corporations and sells them to the public so that they stop being run by the government and they become privately owned.
The Privatization Act outlines a number of privatization methods. Of course, there is the public sale, public offer, where, for example, you can have an initial public offer. You can also have a second, a third offer and all that. You can have concessions, where you concession a service maybe for a number of years, 20 years or something like that. You can have a trade sale, where, for example, you sell to a strategic partner. So there are a number of methods. The only thing is what you do is each method must be able to meet the needs of the corporation which you are privatizing.
In these times of corporate budget cuts and job losses, the government is looking to privatization as a lifeline for a spiraling budget deficit.
Raising government revenue by getting compensation from the assets which you are selling is, of course, one of the objectives. But then there are also other objectives. For example, revitalizing the operations of these corporations, making them stronger, so that by the time you leave them, you have met all their needs going forward. You are looking more into what is their needs as you go forward for each of the corporations.
When it comes to the government, there is always the issue that these corporations were set up using taxes from the wananchi. There is a feeling that you are actually returning the companies to the owners in a sense.
Safaricom, East Africa's most profitable company, is yet another success privatization story. Despite the success of several sellouts, arguments abound for and against the privatization program.
Some entities that have been privatized have recorded good growth, value for the shares. Take, for example, Kenya Airways, KCB. Those are some of the parastatals that the government had to sell off some of the shareholding. And we know that, for example, KCB has come out from loss-making, non-performing loans, and now they are one of the biggest banks in Kenya, competing very well with international banks. So that has been a positive, and we know that the shareholders, who are you and I, have really benefited from that.
It is said that if it's worth doing right. The entire process of privatization, from tendering until the assets are completely relinquished from the government balance sheet, requires transparency, accountability, equity, and fairness.
Transparency is the key thing. Put everything on the table. Let everybody see how you're doing it, and do it the way you say you're going to do it. Don't say one thing and do it differently.
So that you are now equitable, we've seen a lot of innovative ways. One, allowing various investor groups to come in. Two, going down to, in terms of the level, the quantity that can be bought. That's why you've seen a lot of privatizations of government. You say the minimum shares you can buy is 500. 500 is very minimal shares. That allows very wide participation. Then the other aspect is you also publicize the issue a lot so that everybody is given a fair chance. Every other Kenyan is given a fair chance to participate. Then you also engage the financiers so that they are able to fund, so that those who have constraints in terms of raising funds then can participate.
Several of the targeted companies have to be spruced up and polished through restructuring and revitalization to attract strategic partners and other investors.
You will see a situation whereby government first can go through bringing in a strategic investor who profiles the company to a level that now it starts interesting a lot of investors. So those are some of the, you package it in stages. By bringing in a strategic investor, you allow the company to mature to another level. You also give the market a chance to have to undergo the transformation to be more attractive. And of course, what happens is you keep interesting the public in terms of that.
The way forward is to bring out the state corporations publicly that are going to be privatized, the manner in which they are going to be privatized, and the level of the public Kenyans' participation in them, because these were companies that were taken by government in order to hold them for Kenyans.
State corporations are held in trust by the government for the citizens. And at the end of the day, any effort to dispose of these assets should have the interests of the citizens at heart.